Coming up, it's North Quincy High School taking on St. John's High School. That's next on High School Quiz Show. Hi, everybody, and welcome to High School Quiz Show. I'm Joe Hanson, your host. We've had some great matches so far this season, and today promises to be no different. As always, we start with the toss-up round. All answers are worth 10 points. There are no point deductions for wrong answers, and players, you may confer. All right, teams, if you're ready, good luck. Here we go. What U.S. state is home to the Everglades, the largest remaining subtropical wilderness in America? Teddy.
Florida.
Florida is right. In February 2024, what Kentucky Republican announced that he would be stepping down as Senate Minority Leader? Teddy.
McConnell.
Mitch McConnell is right. Which month is named after the Latin word for 8? Because under the Roman calendar, it was the 8th month of the year. John.
October.
Yes. In 2020, what British style icon and former member of One Direction became the first man to appear solo on the cover of American Vogue? Teddy.
Harry Styles.
Yes. The next question, take a look at your monitors. Pictured here is Owachomo Bridge, the most photographed and likely the oldest natural bridge at Natural Bridges National Monument. This park is located in what U.S. state? Lawson.
Arizona.
No, North Quincy, to you. Tristan.
Utah.
Utah is correct. In the 2024 film Joker, Folie à Deux, what pop singer plays Harley Quinn, the Joker's accomplice and love interest? Teddy.
Lady Gaga.
That is correct. What classic picture book by Shel Silverstein was rejected by an editor at Simon & Schuster for being too sad for children and too simple for adults? Amy.
The Giving Tree.
The Giving Tree is right. What medieval bell tower in Italy is famous for the settling of its foundations, which caused it to tilt about 15 feet from the perpendicular in the late 20th century? Tristan.
The Leaning Tower of Pisa.
Correct. For our next question, take a look at your monitors for a special video guest.
Hi, I'm Jim Browdy, co-host of GBH's Boston Public Radio, and here's my question. On January 15, 1919, a tank exploded in Boston's North End, unleashing a massive flood of what sugary substance that crushed buildings and killed 21 people?
Bell.
Molasses.
Molasses is correct. The U.S. military consists of the Army, Navy, Marines, Coast Guard, Air Force, National Guard, and what new branch that was established in 2019? Jackson.
Space Force.
Space Force is right. Under standard temperature and pressure, more than 75% of the elements on the periodic table are which of the following? Metals, liquids, or gases? John.
Gases.
No. St. John's, you have the opportunity. Jackson.
Metals.
Metals is correct. Fronted by two men now in their 80s, what classic rock band's 2024 Hackney Diamonds tour was sponsored by AARP? Teddy.
Simon and Garfunkel.
No. North Quincy, to you. Tristan.
Guns N' Roses.
No, we're looking for the Rolling Stones. On May 10th, 1775, in the first American victory of the Revolutionary War, Ethan Allen and his Green Mountain Boys, along with Colonel Benedict Arnold, captured what British-held fort in New York? Teddy.
Fort Ticonderoga.
That is correct. In education, the acronym STEM stands for Science, Technology, Engineering, and Mathematics. When an A is added to form the acronym STEAM, what does the A stand for? John.
Art.
Art is correct. We are off to a great start, but let's take a moment to thank the folks who make High School Quiz Show possible. Major funding for High School Quiz Show is provided by Safety Insurance.
From whoops to uh-oh to oh no. Safety Insurance can help you manage life's storms, even the indoor kind.
Additional funding is provided by the Museum of Science, Massachusetts Teachers Association, Xfinity Mobile, UMass Amherst, and Subaru of New England. Welcome back. The score is North Quincy with 60 points. St. John's just in the lead with 70. Let's get back to the game. What American Idol finalist who won an Oscar for Dreamgirls was handpicked by Aretha Franklin to play the Queen of Soul in the 2021 biopic Respect? Jackson.
Jennifer Hudson.
That's right. Nicknamed Dizzy in the second half of the 19th century, what British Prime Minister played a key role in the formation of the modern Conservative Party? Teddy.
Disraeli.
Benjamin Disraeli is correct. The Franks were a Germanic tribe that united under what king in the late 5th century? Charlemagne, Clovis, or Pepin? Belle.
Charlemagne.
No. St. John's to you. Teddy?
Clovis.
Clovis is right. The truth of suffering is the first of the 4 noble truths, a fundamental doctrine of what major world religion? Amy.
Buddhism.
Correct. In February 2024, what Russian opposition leader and longtime critic of Vladimir Putin died in a prison north of the Arctic Circle? Lawson.
Alexei Navalny.
Correct. What river that stretches from northwestern Canada through Alaska is the 3rd longest river in North America after the Missouri and the Mississippi? Belle.
Yukon.
The Yukon River is right. The Earth's core is made almost entirely of metal, specifically iron, and what other metallic element? Jackson.
Nickel.
Nickel is right. The documentary The Greatest Night in Pop recounts January 28, 1985, when Lionel Richie, Bruce Springsteen, Tina Turner, and other American legends teamed up to record what landmark charity single? Tristan.
Feed the World.
No. St. John's, you have an opportunity. It is We Are the World. What constellation that looks like a W in the night sky is named after a vain and arrogant queen from Greek mythology? Andromeda, Hera, or Cassiopeia? Belle.
Cassiopeia.
Cassiopeia is right. In the 1980s, the Contras were a group of right-wing resistance fighters who fought against the socialist Sandinista government in what Central American country? Teddy.
Nicaragua.
Nicaragua is right. What city got its first major sports franchise in 1979 when the New Orleans Jazz moved there? Lawson.
Salt Lake City.
Salt Lake City is correct. In 1994, a comet named Shoemaker-Levy 9 created a ball of fire the size of Earth when it crashed into which planet? Teddy.
Mars.
No. North Quincy, you have an opportunity here. Amy.
Venus.
No, we're looking for Jupiter. It's quite the fireworks. You should check it out. Written by Massachusetts native Georgia Hunter, We Were the Lucky Ones is a historical novel based on the true story of a Polish Jewish family separated at the start of which war? Teddy.
World War II.
Yes. In biochemistry, what term that starts with the letter L refers to the signaling molecule used by the body for various cells to communicate with other cells? Lawson.
Ligand.
That is correct.
Yes.
The term Hollywood North has been applied to the film industry in Canada, specifically to the cities of Toronto and what city in British Columbia? Arav.
Vancouver.
Vancouver is correct. That is the end of the round. The score is North Quincy with 90 points, St. John's in the lead with 170 points. Let's hear it for both teams. Last week, Acton-Boxborough beat St. John's Prep to move on to the quarterfinals. In today's match, North Quincy and St. John's High School in Shrewsbury are both hoping to move on. The head-to-head round is next, but first we're going to take a minute to get to know the players. North Quincy, we start with you. Belle, you only have one palm traversal on your left hand. What does that mean?
So most people have 2 or 3 technically. There's one here and then one here. It folds along 2 lines. This one only folds along 1.
So these are the lines on your palm.
Yeah.
So how did you figure out that this was a unique feature that you had?
A Vsauce video.
Really? Okay, well, I'll tell Michael that you said that. That's pretty cool. Now, I'm a pretty sciencey guy, but has anybody offered to like do palm reading for you or anything?
No, but I'd love to get a palm reader just to see what they come up with.
All right, well, I hope it's all good news if that happens. Tristan, I hear you once visited 3 countries in one day.
So I went through France, Germany, and Luxembourg in a day. And I really only stopped in France, but it was just a kind of a cool achievement. See, like I went through 2 other countries that day.
That's kind of a fun personal competition. You want to take it to 4 countries in a day one day?
That's the goal.
Okay, maybe 5?
Maybe 5, 6.
All right, shoot for the moon.
Yeah.
I hope you get there. John, you have glasses. You have a really strong prescription. Okay, how many fingers am I holding up?
Well, I have my glasses on, so I can see from here. If I didn't, I probably could not see that.
How old were you when you started wearing glasses?
When I was in 5th grade.
Yeah, that's about when I started. They make us look smarter. Amy, you like to drink a lot of kombucha. What is a lot of kombucha?
Like a bottle a day.
Do you have a favorite flavor, or you just go for the straight unfiltered stuff?
No, I like ginger.
That's a good one. Have you ever tried to make your own kombucha?
No.
Okay, well, if you're looking for science fair ideas, there's a free one, okay? Filling out the North Quincy team, we have alternates Alex and Catherine, and coaches Peggy Farron and Mira Cruz. Now on to St. John's. Lawson, I hear you make really good steaks. Is cooking a hobby of yours that you've had for a while?
Yeah, I really started cooking with my dad. It's something we like to do together.
So what is the secret? You know, there's 100 ways if you look online about how to cook the perfect steak. How do you do it?
I think the secret is reverse searing it and seasoning it well. That's all you really need to do. Everything else after that, you can't really mess up.
Yeah, what's a reverse sear?
So you basically put the steak in the oven for 20 minutes and you let the steak cook internally. And then you slap it on like a cast iron or a pan for 2-3 minutes each side. And then, yeah, all set.
And how do you take your steak?
Medium rare, the only acceptable way.
I mean, I have to agree. Teddy, you recently became an uncle.
Yes.
Congratulations.
Thank you.
So niece or nephew?
Nephew.
Awesome. It's a big responsibility. Are there any lessons that you really want to pass on to that younger generation? Or do you just want to have somebody else to play video games with?
Honestly, probably the latter. I kind of just want a little buddy, you know?
That's great. A little mini-me.
Yeah, exactly.
I love it. Arav, you love writing poetry in your free time.
Yeah.
How old were you when you started writing poetry?
You know, I wrote a little bit of poetry when I was growing up, but recently I got back into it. I think it just pushes me to be creative and more thoughtful.
Were you inspired by any poets that you read to take that up?
Yeah, I like Robert Frost a lot, but I think there are a lot of brilliant people out there, and it's fun to try to follow in their footsteps.
Well, it might come in handy here in the tournament. We occasionally have questions about poetry, so keep that in mind. Jackson, you were a child model.
I was, yes.
Give me a pose. Okay. Have we seen your work anywhere?
In a toy box in Target, so that's really cool.
What's something about modeling that most people don't realize?
That none of the clothes that are my clothes that I wear. So it's like they all have like select wardrobe that we have to put on.
You gotta give it back?
Yeah, sadly.
That's too bad. Okay. Also on the St. John's team, we have alternates Kurpal and Ronan and coaches Jennifer Mitchell and Dr. Jennifer Wigg. Let's hear it for both teams. Okay, we're going head-to-head in this round. Correct answers add 10 points to the team total, and wrong answers result in a 10-point deduction. The clock is set at 90 seconds. Let's get a nice friendly handshake before we start. Okay. Good luck. Here we go. In Indiana Jones and the Dial of Destiny, who reprises his role as...
Harrison Ford.
Yes. All insects have how many legs?
6.
Yes. In China, brides traditionally wear what color that symbolizes...
Red.
Yes. The platypus and other egg-laying mammals are only found in New Guinea and what other country?
New Zealand?
No, Australia. First produced in London in 1904, what famous play is subtitled The Boy Who Wouldn't Grow Up?
Peter Pan.
Yes. Which country lost its president when Ibrahim Raisi died in a helicopter crash in May?
Iran?
Yes. How many elements are visually displayed in the periodic table of elements?
108.
118. The first Broadway musical to feature a live children's rock band. What show is based on a film starring Jack Black?
School of Rock.
School of Rock is correct. Anubis was the jackal-headed god of the dead in what ancient?
Egypt.
Yes. What is the main structural protein of hair, nails, horns?
Collagen.
No, keratin. In the Harry Potter series, Harry, Ron, and Hermione are all members of which house at Hogwarts?
Gryffindor.
Yes. Evergreen State College is located in what capital city of Washington State?
Olympia.
Yes. In the H.G. Wells novel, The War of the Worlds, Earth is invaded by aliens from which planet?
Mars.
Yes. What country was the birthplace of Prince Henry the Navigator?
Portugal?
Yes. That is the end of our round. Let's take a look at our score. North Quincy has 80 points. St. John's High is in the lead with 260 points. Let's give it up for both teams. All right, teams, it's time for the category round. Today's categories are Let's Talk Turkey, Logarithm and Blues, Nailed It, Frankly, My Dear, Keep Calm and Carry Franz, and Centaur of Attention. All categories have 5 questions with increasing point value. Teams will choose 2 5-question categories each and have the option to toss 1 question per category to the other team that the other team must answer. Players are able to confer. All right, North Quincy, who's your spokesperson? Amy? And St. John's, how about you? Lawson. Okay, North Quincy, first category goes to you.
Logarithm and blues.
Logarithm and blues. These are questions about math. For 10 points, if a square has an area of 625 square centimeters, what is the perimeter of the square in centimeters?
100 centimeters.
That is correct. For 15 points, what is the amount of simple interest accrued on $20,000 at an 8% annual rate over 3 years?
$4,800.
Okay, sure. 8 years. Oh, no, yeah. $4,800.
That is correct. For 20 points, in logarithm and blues, what is the common logarithm of 100,000?
5, right? 5. 5.
Correct. For 25 points, water flows into a barrel at 6 ounces per minute and drains out at 2 ounces per minute. The barrel holds 180 ounces. How many minutes does it take to fill the barrel?
45 minutes.
That is correct. For 30 points, in the mid-1600s, what branch of mathematics was developed independently by Isaac Newton and German mathematician Gottfried Leibniz?
Calculus.
That is correct. St. John's, next category to you.
We'll do Centaur of Attention.
Centaur of Attention. These are questions about Greek mythology. For 10 points, the Isthmian Games was a festival of athletic and musical competitions in honor of what Greek god of the sea?
Poseidon.
That's correct. For 15 points, what legendary Greek warrior was dipped into the river Styx as a baby, making him nearly invincible?
Achilles.
Correct. For 20 points, what goddess of the earth is also the mother of the Titans?
Gaia.
Correct. For 25 points, in Centaur of Attention, what princess of Crete fell in love with Theseus and helped him defeat the Minotaur and escape the labyrinth?
Pass.
We're looking for Ariadne. For 30 points, described by Homer as a land of perfect happiness at the end of the earth, what eternal paradise awaited the souls of heroes in Greek myth?
Elysium.
That is correct. North Quincy, next category to you.
Nailed it.
Nailed it. These are questions about the Protestant Reformation. For 10 points. The Reformation began in 1517 when what Catholic monk nailed, or more likely glued, a pamphlet called the 95 Theses to the door of Castle Church in Wittenberg, Germany?
Martin Luther.
That is correct. For 15 points, in the 1560s, as the Reformation spread across Europe, French Catholics fought a series of wars against what group of French Protestants?
Huguenots.
That's correct. For 20 points. King Henry VIII rejected Catholicism and founded the Church of England after the Pope refused to annul his 23-year marriage to what first wife?
Catherine of Aragon.
That is correct. For 25 points. Held in northern Italy from 1545 to 1563, what ecumenical council shaped the Counter-Reformation and revitalized Catholicism in many parts of Europe?
Council of Trent.
That's correct. For 30 points in Nailed It. Presbyterianism traces its origins to what French Protestant theologian remembered mainly for his doctrine of predestination?
Knox. John Knox.
No, it's John Calvin. St. John's, final category to you.
Let's talk turkey.
Let's talk turkey. These are questions about the Republic of Turkey, not the bird. For 10 points. The modern Republic of Turkey was founded after the Ottoman Empire was defeated during which war?
World War I.
That is correct. For 15 points, prized by the Ottoman Empire and a symbol of its power, what national flower of Turkey was introduced to the Netherlands in the 16th century?
Tulip.
That is correct. For 20 points, meaning holy wisdom in Greek, what Istanbul Cathedral was turned into a mosque after the Ottoman conquest, then became a museum, and then became a mosque again in 2020?
The Hagia Sophia.
Yes, Hagia Sophia. For 25 points in Let's Talk Turkey, in 2023, what Turkish president dropped his resistance to Sweden joining the NATO alliance?
Erdogan.
Erdogan is correct. And for 30 points, what mountain, the highest peak in Turkey, is the mythical resting place of Noah's Ark?
Toss.
Ooh, North Quincy, that question goes to you. We do need an answer.
Senep.
No, it's Mount Ararat. That is the end of the category round. The score is North Quincy with 190 points. St. John's is in the lead with 405 points. Let's hear it for both teams. We're heading into the final round of play, the lightning round. Correct answers add 20 points to the team's total, and there is a 20-point deduction for incorrect answers. The clock is set. Here we go. What river provides about 70% of the tap water in London? Lawson.
Thames.
Thames is right. In 2024, what star of the film Poor Things won the Oscar for Best Actress? Jackson.
Emma Stone.
Yes. Derived from the Latin for tale, what term refers to the final passage in a piece of music? Amy.
Rondo.
No, coda. By some estimates, there are more bikes than people in what capital city? Belle.
Amsterdam.
Yes. A solar eclipse can only occur during which phase of the moon? Tristan.
Full moon.
No, new moon. Bibbidi Boppidi Boo is a song from what 1950? Belle.
Cinderella.
Yes. Whales, dolphins, and porpoises belong to what order of mammals? Cetacean. In 2024, what Florida team defeated the Edmonton Oilers to win its... Tristan.
The Florida Panthers.
Yes. On August 15th, 1945, what emperor gave a radio address announcing... Lawson.
Hirohito.
Yes. Short for bourgeois, what six-letter word is a synonym for snobbish or elitist? Teddy.
Bougie.
Yes. Tracy Turnblad is the main character in which Broadway musical? Hairspray. What former First Lady is the author of the best-selling memoir Becoming? Amy.
Michelle Obama.
Yes. Derived from the Latin for milk, what acid is commonly found in ferment? Amy.
Lactic.
Yes. The Aswan High Dam controls the annual flooding of what river in Africa? Tristan.
Nile.
Yes. Originally meaning platoon, what seven-letter French word? We were looking for Peloton there. And the winning team this week is St. John's with a final score of 485 points. North Quincy finishes with 270 points. Congratulations to both teams for a great game. St. John's now moves on to the quarterfinals. Join us next week for the match between three-time past champion Lexington High and Maimonides, making their high school quiz show debut right here on High School Quiz Show.